What's up YouTube, it's Louis here bringing you today's cryptocurrency video. So we're going to look at Verasity, VRA, if you don't know what the ticker is already. So I'm seeing a lot of bullish things. First of all, let's take a look at the monthly. So at the moment we're sitting on this swing high as support, just like that. And that is also lining up with the 12 EMA, roughly at 0.0336 cent. So that is roughly lining up with that 0.786. So a monthly close right on this would be nice. If we don't get that, I would like a monthly close up here, but if we don't get that, that's completely fine. If we were to roll over under this 12 EMA and hit our head on it like this, we're potentially going to bounce down or come down to the 20 monthly EMA, sitting roughly at 0.0222 cent. And I think that if you were to come down here, you'd hold the 618 wick down potentially to that 0.50 before holding that 0.618. As long as we are above the 0.618, we should see Verasity head to 19 cent as a minimal target. If we're holding these key structures, and I mean holding above this purple line, as long as we're above that, we should see Verasity eventually get up to 19 cent. So I hope that's a bit clear so far. We're going to now take a look at the weekly time frame. So I want to look at the RSI with this time frame, but before we get into that, you can see that this 55 weekly EMA, which basically holds up our bull market, is sitting at 0.0303 cents, which is this swing low over here. So basically, when you make a new swing high over this one, you should really come back to that previous one and flip it into support before continuing. But I've shown you multiple times in previous videos on my Bitcoin updates. Make sure you check today's Bitcoin update. It's always the most important chart, especially when we're in dips. So if we were to lose this swing high, you actually come to the swing low, and that's exactly what we've done at the moment. So if you were to lose this resistance point, you're going to come to the previous support, and if you were to lose that, to the previous resistance basically. But I'm not seeing this at the moment because we're holding key levels of support. Remember, we want to stay above that 0.618, and as long as we're doing that, we should see VRA get up to the 1.618, and that would be a gain of, from current price, a gain of, it'd be beautiful, 460%. That is bearing in mind Bitcoin stays in the bull market, holds that weekly 55, which is at I think about 42k. So we're doing that at the moment. So as long as we're closing like this or staying like this, we're all good for continuation because we have higher highs and higher lows. So it's all bullish. I've gone through in the past how I've seen multiple times where even the chart can come all the way to that 1.618, and of course we're expecting this to hold or this to hold over here. But I have seen, and I've gone through examples in the past where it's come all the way down to that 0.618 and then carried on, continue up to its next target. So of course I would like to talk about these targets, but at the moment I'm not going to talk about these targets because we need to focus on the here and now right now. So it's all about staying in a bull market at the moment. Of course, if you're to basically, as long as you're above this low, we should continue up basically. But on the weekly time frame, if you were to close below this, you would be having a weekly lower low, and you'd start basically potentially a weekly downtrend, and this could be a very, very prolonged bull run. But we don't want to see that, and we're not seeing that at the moment because we're holding key structures, major levels of key support basically. And so we can get onto these targets in the future once we break above and confirm the 1.618 as support. But right now, what I'm seeing is 19 cent. So let's take a look at the RSI at the moment. So over here, we've got a low, a higher low, and a higher low. And actually on the chart over here, you're having lower lows. So this is hidden bullish divergence because or is this just, because the chart is showing you higher lows, but the RSI is showing you lower lows basically. So as long as this stays above this line over here, as long as this is not making a lower low, then of course you're invalidating that. So this is basically saying that we should actually see a bounce basically, because on the chart, higher lows, on the RSI, lower lows. So that's just basically telling us that we're going to see a bounce soon. We haven't seen that bullish divergence play out yet because we're still at support basically. So let's go take a look at the daily time frame. So the daily is, it's saying the same, isn't it? On the chart, we're having higher lows, but on the RSI, we're having lower lows. So look, we bottomed out here. We were in the oversold territory where we went under 30, the level of 30, and you've had a bounce. And ever since, you've been putting higher lows over here. But I think since that low point, let's zoom in for you. So since this low point over here, which was this red candle, you've actually been printing lower lows. And here you're having higher lows. So we've actually got 2 daily bullish divergences over here. So this is just... oh, I think I might have said it wrong. I think this is your hidden bullish divergence. And this one's just your regular bullish divergence. So yeah, multiple passes to the upside. That's what the RSI is saying. As long as we're above this 0.618, we know we're going to head to that 1.618. So it's all positive. Let's go take a look at the 4-hour time frame. Actually, before we go to the 4-hour, I am seeing a pattern on this chart at the moment, and I think potentially it has played out already. I'm seeing this sort of head and shoulders over here, which is a bearish pattern, and I think I need to check with you guys that it's played out. So this would be your head and this would be your shoulder, and then you've broken out, retested it and gone down basically. So let's go to check the targets for you now. So I'm going to draw the neckline, and we're always using bodies when it comes to patterns. So there you go. You can see that you respected this when you look. Can you see you respected as resistance, broke above, confirmed as support with them wicks over there, and then obviously you've come up, come back down, tested this as support. I think you may have even, yeah, you've wicked down to this swing high over here. Even with that green candle, you've come almost to the bodies. So that's nice. You flip resistance into support. Of course, that's what you want to do anyway, as I've just explained on the higher time frames. And if we were to lose that, we'd potentially come all the way down here. And this is what we're potentially seeing right now. And that's why I've said that we basically want to hold that 0.618. Because if you do lose this 0.786 slash this W double bottoms neckline, then you could roll over. But at the moment, we're sitting on that neckline and we're potentially forming some sort of double bottom here where you're having multiple fake outs with it. But that's right now, we can't really look at that because you haven't broken the neckline. You haven't validated that pattern yet. So we're just going to focus on the patterns that have been validated at the moment. And that's been this head and shoulders. And I'm going to measure, I think from, let me measure from the high back down to here. I might have got this wrong. I think we should be doing it from the body. So let's just double check. No, that's perfectly fine. So now you can actually see that once you broke out down here, over here, you've actually come down, fell to that 1 point. So you've bounced off a very key level of support and you've confirmed that as support. And so with that, we would have liked to invalidate this head and shoulders pattern with a target down here by getting back above this pink line, which we had done. But you can see here, there was a lot of weakness in Verasity, and that was shown by the wicks going up. My saying is wicks to the top, it's going to drop. And that's what we saw here. When you see wicks at resistance, and of course, that's basically showing you weakness in the market, because if it weren't resistant, it would have just got back above and confirmed this pink line as support, invalidating this further downside. But of course, this green candle and the candle before is something called a shooting star. And when you see a shooting star at resistance, it's a bearish reversal pattern. So you've actually started coming up and you see your 2 bearish candlestick patterns, and now it's going to reverse you down. And because we're in an uptrend now, you can see even more shooting stars over here. The wicks are basically longer to the upside than they are to the downside. So when you see that at resistance, you're going to roll over basically. And you kind of printed a mini head and shoulders pattern right here. If you can see that, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and the wicks were telling you everything. Weakness. I can't get above the EMAs. I can't get above the EMAs. I can't. Every time you've seen wicks at the EMAs, showing you weakness in Verasity. And so that was basically telling us that we're going to fall lower. And so now we have met our technical target, which was sitting at 0.0315. So that would have been an amazing short opportunity. But I don't short the market. I just long in the bull market. I don't want to go against the trend. The trend is your friend. And so that is what I'm seeing at the moment. The technical target has been met. And once a technical target is met, this is when you start forming a new pattern. And you can see in the past, obviously the past doesn't mean necessarily it's going to happen in the future. But what I'm seeing here with this head, shoulder, head and shoulder, this head and shoulders pattern, and then of course this run up here before dropping, forming a W, is sort of similar to this. Can you see where you've dropped down here, have a little run up before continuing down, potentially forming some sort of double bottom over here. But again, guys, we need to break the neckline to even speak about that. But what I can see from just looking at the chart, that this over here is similar to what we had over here. So if we had a similar pump, let's just see how big this pump was from here to the top. Is about 263%. So let's see from current price what 263% would be. So that would be a new all-time high, I'm guessing, yeah? 263%. So that would actually bring you exactly to that 1414, where potentially you've formed a new higher high, a new swing high before rolling over to this previous swing high to confirm it as support. So something like this. Let's draw that out for you. And again, as my explanation earlier in the video, if you lose a swing high, you come to the swing low. So let's say we work our way up, hit the 1414, confirm this as support, and then head to that 1618. If you were to lose this, then we would have to look at the swing low, and I can see that's right over here on the 1. So if you were to lose that, you come to the 1, and if that holds, then you have that bounce up. So this is what I'm seeing right now for Verasity. We're having bullish divergence on the weekly, bullish divergence on the daily, and hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So to me, once you've met a technical target to the downside, a new pattern has to form. Now, a lot of the time it is a bullish pattern, but it can be another bearish pattern, and this is what we need to look out for. But guys, remember, as long as you're above this level, which I'm going to just put in now, as long as you're above that 0618, where you've measured from the top over here, this swing high, to this swing low on the 17th of January. As long as you're above that 0618, we should see ourselves head to the 1618 as a minimal target for Verasity at 19 cents. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't understand it, just watch it back. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace.